I'll see. If you got something to say, you might as well say and see how it feels. And I do. Something needs to be said through me because it won't leave me alone. And, if you watch me enough, you're going to realize I'm like a parrot with a real big vocabulary. And I kind of say a lot of the same things, but it's because the concepts that I beat the drum of like that, and this all I do is beat this drum, are on the back of what I found myself after I lost it. They're objective truths like subjectivity and objectivity, the subconscious mind, the conscious mind, and empathy and hopelessness and meaninglessness and parents and yourself and your ego, understanding, meaning, individuality, collectivism, objectivism, stuff like that. But what it is, dude, and why I feel the push to do this, I don't even want to say this, and I'm not trying to call any shots, but this thing's about to happen where everybody's going to be forced to go inward, maybe. Like it's time to take it inside and deal with yourself, confront yourself. That is your subconscious mind, on the backside of which you'll become a conscious being. And from a place of a subconscious being, you'll go from being human to a human being. And the real name of our species is Homo sapiens sapiens, the one that is aware, that is aware. It's because we have this option in our mind as humans that we don't utilize, that is to be conscious, the conscious mind. And we scrape it up and round it up as some idea that we're pointing a finger at, alongside the subconscious mind, from the seat of the subconscious mind, and close our mind around it as a thing we think we understand. That is a misunderstanding. And it takes some sort of reckoning to kind of crash our mind, and before we even have a chance to, realize what it is to be conscious. And unfortunately, it's not a choice that we're going to have to become conscious. And if I say often, if you have a choice, it wouldn't be this one, to become conscious, because it's exactly hell you got to go through. It ain't no self-help book reading in a coffee shop that's going to take you from a state of being seated in the subjective seat of your subconscious mind to being conscious through your subconscious mind. And to even, if you take my word for this right here, nothing like the understanding of what the subconscious mind is, my understanding, saved my life. I was, confronted with the question, who am I, and stuff, and you get confronted with that question, and you really are confronted with it, like you can't get away from it. You aren't just thinking it for fun. Everything else in your life is going to be put down until you find the answer, because you won't be able to take a shit without trying to get away from yourself. You'll be brushing your teeth, slinging toothpaste all over the mirror and floor, trying to get the hell out of there. Because that's a feeling and a realization that question stems off of, that will be on the forefront of your perception until it's gone. And you're the only one that's got the answer. The most difficult part about developing that answer is to find what to look for. There's no single source you're going to go to that's going to give you the answer. And that's because even if it was in plain English like this, you first have to develop a spot in your mind for it to fall into, through just studying it and understanding you don't realize what it is. That's the first step. And hopefully it won't be on the backside of some reckoning that you're forced to admit that with yourself. It's inside our subconscious mind. It holds our conceptual identity, our lower self, our ego. We have a body. We have an idea of who we are in this body, and that's where our identity gets wrapped up in the subconscious mind. But also in the subconscious mind is our knowledge base, things we've learned, kind of like in school and stuff. And Inside of that knowledge base, you likely have an idea of the subconscious mind. And it's probably got something to do with an iceberg, real short and sweet. That ain't it. You know, the subconscious mind don't even exist. Does not even exist as some general thing through which you're going to understand your own. It's your subconscious mind. What is my subconscious mind? Through studying the subconscious mind, you can build a place for it in your knowledge base that's in your subconscious mind. You have an idea of it, and you think that's it, and you've closed your mind around what the subconscious mind is, and you think it's just in there like with other basic psychological terms that you have an understanding of the subconscious mind, but it's the whole subconscious mind that you're using to do all of that. The subconscious mind is the self. The subconscious mind is also subjective in itself. And what the subconscious mind is dependent upon, subject to, the individual's level of awareness towards it. If your sense of identity is seated in the subconscious mind, then the answer to the question, what is my subconscious mind, would be, it's myself, it's my ego, it's my name, it's my story, it's my past, and it's who I am. As opposed to someone who has established objectivity and is seated in their conscious mind alongside or with the subconscious mind, the answer to the question, what is my subconscious mind, is going to be myself. And it's crazy. For the first one, if you're seated in your subconscious mind, myself is one word. You think you are this self, and it sums up your identity. If you're saying myself from a place of consciousness, it's like two words. It's my self. This self of yours, that ain't you, or it wouldn't be yours. My self. Who am I if this self belongs to somebody? I'm the thing that it belongs to. And you go back and re-merge with it as, your higher self. But what I was saying is, to understand in the way of experiencing your own subconscious mind, the subconscious mind, is becoming conscious. At that point, that is consciousness, self-awareness. It is through and only through the lens of the conscious mind that you can experience your subconscious mind. You can't experience your subconscious mind as the subconscious mind. Impossible. You've got to establish objectivity from it, point a finger at it, and intuitively you'll realize at that moment it to be not who you are, as everything you just thought you were. And that's an ego death. And shit gets real weird from there, because no longer will you be able to go slip back into the subjective seat of that subconscious mind and get away from yourself in the same way that you were, which is identifying as it. And you are now with one, and it's yours, and it'll be in between you and seeing a fresh, new, clean day every day until you deal with the shit that's inside of it. That is misunderstandings. And it is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Absolutely nothing to blame yourself for, although you've got to go through a period of blaming yourself out of love to get, because